What's up, guys? Today is October 14th, which means 10 years of YouTube uploads. I created a playlist of videos from every single year from 2010 all the way to 2020, and we're going to talk about them and kind of what was going on in my life during that, so let's get right into it. So here we are. I am 12 years old in this video. So interesting thing, the J-step backflip was actually the very first backflip I landed on ground. My cousin kind of got me into parkour when I was 8. We didn't really do a lot of it, we just dedicated all of our time to learning how to do backflips. It took 4 years till I finally was able to do that. Then a little bit later I posted this video right here. So my setup that I had back then, I actually took my mom's MacBook and I took it outside and I used the webcam. And all I really had was a trampoline, and I also started taking capoeira classes at this time, so you can see like me doing a little bit of tricking stuff, but not that much. Lots and lots of backflips. So I didn't film anything in 2011 because I wasn't really doing much at that time other than the capoeira stuff. But then in 2012, my friends and I, we started our first parkour classes and we met the community, and that was when we got hooked. 2012 was the year when my friends and I really got into it. So we did tons of crazy fun stuff. You can see tons of stuff of just my friends and I like hucking ourselves into the foam pit. And that was how I learned most of my stuff, really. It was just like all my aerial awareness was just like throwing as many flips and spins as I could into the foam pit. And so many of these, like that cork there, that was actually my very first cork that I ever landed. So many of these clips are my very first time actually landing the trick. So, okay, moving on.
Tell me about the logo.
Okay, so my channel was the Chinese Lion Tamer. I don't even know how I came up with it. I think it was because in capoeira, the name that they gave for me was Leão, which is like Portuguese for lion. And then when I created my YouTube channel, my cousin helped me create it. He's like, "What do you want to call yourself?" And I was like, the Chinese Lion Tamer. I was like, "Oh yeah, sick." And we put that in. So Chinese because I am a quarter Chinese, and then Lion Tamer. It's just what I came up with. So then I created a little logo for myself, and I started using that in 2013. I was struggling really bad in school because I had like a sleeping disorder and just dealing with lots of different things. I was just super far behind, and 2013 was the year that it was the next year that I dropped out of school and just decided to pursue free running for my life. Okay. Yeah, here we go.
Is this the one where you have your mustache?
Yeah.
Oh man. You look like a Mexican in this video.
So, as you can see, updated logo. I have no idea why. In my head, this was like going to be my ultimate video. Like, electricity was like, in my head it was just so beautiful. And then, oh yeah, this is when like Austin started getting a little bit better at filming, but I kind of bossed him around too much. I was like, I want it this way. I want it 60 frames per second, and like, and Austin was just like face palming the whole time. I did do like a few pretty cool things in this. This was actually right after I had chicken pox. It was like one of the worst things like ever, but 2014 you could kind of start seeing my style. As you can see, I did a vortex backflip. So I actually saw Alfred Scott do a vortex gainer into the foam pit like a long time ago, and I was like, holy cow, I have to do that one day.
Oh man, your mustache cracks me up.
Yeah, look at me. I look like Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, this is my favorite video.
This was the very first video I filmed in 2015, and this was when Reagan started watching my videos.
I saw this video and I was like, holy crap, he's at Lowe's. I go to Lowe's. He looks about my age. I need to meet this guy. I want to date this guy.
Now, moving on, later in that same year, this video right here, this was a really special video to me. Almost My Time, and the reason why I called it that was because at this time I knew that I was going to be a professional free runner, and
so cute.
I made a goal that the next year, 2016, I was going to audition for Art of Motion and I was going to make it. And some people doubted me, but I was like, just you wait. Next year, I'm going to be so much better. And that's why I called this Almost My Time, because it was right before that year. And as you can see, like that was kind of when my flow really started getting good and when my style really started showing off. I was really inspired by Jesse LaFleur, Corey DeMeyers, and starting to get really inspired by Team Farang, just lots of the other big free runners out there. You can really see it in my style. But this was also the first year that I did vortex gainers outside, and that was like my signature move, and that was like one of the best ones that I've ever done outside. So yeah, 2016 was the biggest year in my career. So for Art of Motion, I analyzed the crap out of what the judges were picking for the other submissions, and man, I pushed myself so hard, and I got that scoot triple full outside, just really try to show off my style and try to tick off all the boxes, and I barely was able to make it in, but it was, I knew, like when I created the submission, I was like, this is it, I gotta give it all that I have. This was literally me pushing myself the hardest that I possibly could, and almost all these tricks in here are tricks that I had never done outside. I learned Kong gainers outside in January of 2016, and less than 4 months later was the biggest moment in my career, was when I did arguably the world's first straight Kong gainer full outside. And I was so stoked about that. It literally only took me 5 days. I remember being with Austin, sleeping over at Austin's house, and we were like, I was like, man, there's got to be some trick that I can do that no one has done that would just blow up and help me get out there. And I was like, maybe I could do that outside. And so I just decided, okay, this Saturday I'm going to do it outside. So for 5 days straight, I just trained in the gym as hard as I could and then took it outside. And there's a vlog for that as well that you guys can watch. It's a pretty cool experience. I made it in. I got to compete at Art of Motion. Beautiful time. 2017. So this was the year that I met Reagan Anderson, who's now Reagan Chan.
Sure am.
And lots of my style just really started coming out more, and I got stronger, my flow was better. I didn't quite push myself as hard as far as progressing bigger tricks, but I definitely was still progressing. As you can see, that Kong gainer full that I did there was pretty effortless. So we actually established YGT freerunning in 2016. We added Reagan in 2017, this year here. That was like kind of when we were pushing it the most, but didn't quite work out. There was lots of people that left, so we actually, the team's disbanded now, by the way, but lots of us, we're still doing stuff, you know, as you can see, and still keeping that spirit. Yeah, 2017 was a great year. I went to Art of Motion again and got 4th place again, and through like one of the craziest runs that I ever had. So this video right here, the world's largest parkour course. So around the time that I posted this, I had, I think, around 10,000 subscribers. So I knew when I got invited to go to China for this competition, I absolutely knew that I was going to film this video and that it was going to blow up. It was an insane experience. Like, that was definitely the longest run that I have ever done, longest parkour run. I think it's like over 1 kilometer long, if I'm not mistaken.
So crazy.
So it's all downhill though, so energy-wise, like, it wasn't as bad as it looked, but for the legs, it was literally drop after drop after drop. But it has 40 million plus views right now, and I have 160,000 subscribers now because of it. And because of that China video, I got my silver plaque right here. We're going for 1 million now though, and I trust that you guys are gonna help us get there. Okay, 2018. So Reagan and I, we both served missions for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And Reagan went to Quito, Ecuador. I went to Auckland, New Zealand. I just wanted to create the biggest, baddest video that I could possibly make. And this was like definitely the hardest that I've ever pushed myself in any video. And it was, we're out with a bang.
I remember watching this on my mission and I was just like, oh, man, I miss him. I miss him. Oh, this is such a good video.
So, the screwdriver Kong gainer full. Up until this point, if you were to ask me what the hardest trick I have ever done is, I wouldn't really have an answer. I'd be like, well, I've done this and done that and done that. But after doing that, like, still to this day, that is the best trick that I have ever done. After this, I didn't think that I would ever push myself this hard. I was like, dang, you know, I feel like I have accomplished myself and I don't need to push myself anymore. This line right here. So, the Calen gainer pre to the full and back out, that took all day, like literally. I did that so many times. I have a vlog that shows all the attempts for that, but
oh guys, there you go, out with a bang, I'm going my mission.
As you can see, I say like, out with a bang, there you go, I'm going on my mission. And Austin and I, we edited that video for 40 plus hours. It took us, like, we were together for an entire week editing it. And then we posted it literally the week before I left for my mission. 2019, I returned home early from my mission. I was only out for 6 months because of some things with depression and a bad reaction to medication. And so I was back, and I mean, that experience was amazing. And then later, Reagan came back after a year and a half of serving. These were some of the clips that I got. I actually was getting kind of depressed because parkour wasn't as enjoyable for me anymore. And well, I came back and I went to Beast Coast, which was like my first jam in over a year. Fun stuff, got to hang out with people again, rejuvenate my love for the sport. And as you can see, I did not lose my style, did not lose my skill. There was lots of tricks that I was trying to do earlier that I just wasn't able to do, like this helicoptero Gumby thing that I was just suddenly able to do when I got back from my mission. I started the requested trick challenge, like doing some of these insane tricks like Kong gainer Kong and running dash gainer. Felt good just to keep throwing down and doing all that stuff. And this drop wall punch gainer thing. So yeah, I was still throwing some bangers in 2019. It was also the best year of my life because that was when we got married and started working at Woodward.
Best year of my life too.
That's 2019 for you. Here we are in 2020, and this was actually physically probably the hardest line that I've ever done. 2018, I did that one rail Kong gainer pre-line, and that was probably like the coolest line I'd ever done. But in this line that I did here, it was like the Kong gainer full was so hard to do after doing a line like that, and that got me first placed in the Tempest competition, the online comps, since COVID and all this crazy stuff has been happening. Reagan and I, we quit our jobs at Woodward just so that we could pursue this full time, and as you guys can tell, we've been posting every single week, sometimes twice a week for the last month and a half.
So much fun!
And here we are here. I was actually going to throw a ridiculously hard line, and then as I was progressing to it, this was when I tore tons of ligaments in my ankle. And I am actually still recovering after 3.5 months.
But you're doing really good.
Yeah, we're about at 90% right now, I'd say. I just still do not have that power. It was actually around this time when I decided that I was going to post every single week. Could not be stopped. I was so motivated. I decided, like, I want to get sponsored by Red Bull. I want to do all these things. I want to do this, and I was so motivated, and this was while my ankle was injured, and so I continued to train and strengthen, and obviously I was really careful. Like, this was a month after I had destroyed my ankle, so I didn't need the boot, but I just had it just kind of like to protect it and prevent me from using it. It was fun. That was actually the longest line that I've ever done because it was for the online competition where you had to have at least 30 seconds in your line. So there you have it, guys. It's been 10 years since my first upload and many more to come. So yeah, it took 10 years for me to start uploading consistently, but you guys are going to get videos every single week, sometimes 2 a week for at least a year, but we're going to go longer than that. Leave a comment below. Tell me when you started watching my videos. I'm really curious because some of you guys have been with me for a really long time. Like Reagan watching my videos before I had 10,000 subscribers. Lots of big stuff's coming out soon, so stay tuned, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.